Hello. I really want to do a video about me today because I do share videos a lot about different techniques that I do, very simple, very practical, especially for spiritually connected women. The one thing that I kind of realized that I don't really talk about is all the esoterical stuff, the channeling, the angel healing, all that kind of stuff. I never talk about, hey, I talk to people. I see dead people, that type of stuff. I never like I find that, and I know why that is. I find that I tend to talk about other things and detract away from the fact that I actually am a healer and do energy healing. So I'm a spiritual health coach and I love, love, love what I do. And I really want to share with you how I got into channeling because I don't want to leave this side of me out. And it's important to me that when I work with anyone, that I'm working with someone for the right reasons. They come to me. People come to me, they gravitate to me and go, I sense I need to work with you. I sense you can do something for me. I sense that you can help me with this situation. I sense that this, I sense. So people usually come to me for that reason, those reasons. And, I don't really mention it often. I don't mention it enough, and I do have like my guys scream, you don't say this enough, right, about my energetic healing side and how I help you take back power and rise in your health, life, and business. And I want to share more of that, as I said. And even though I do practical and simple, very scientific techniques, I do it because it's very logical to me, right? It helps me. Okay, I've got a whole plethora of like tools that I can use over here, but that's very logical, right? It's very logical and it keeps me safe. It keeps me safe. The stuff that we can't see, I can't, I do see, but I can't like scientifically, rationally put together. That feels unsafe to describe it in such a public forum, like on Facebook, like on Instagram live now, like on, I think I'm on YouTube as well. There you go. Or, sorry, I'm on LinkedIn too. You know, that stuff, I cannot dodge and ignore it, because this is what my clients really rave about. This is what my clients were like, go, oh my God, like I had this pain and like I went to such and such and now it's gone. That type of stuff, right? Because my gifts are, hand healing, I channel, and I see as well. And I'm always honing in on my gifts, always honing in on my gifts. And I hear stuff too. And these are the things that people would like get really locked up for a long time ago. And possibly have electric shock treatment or something like that. My gifts have been very hard to take on because I felt stigma. So I have hidden it in the background, and as I said, I've been trying to scientifically prove everything. It must be scientific, like rather than just going, hey, you know what? Sometimes some things are never going to be explained. And great science, if you don't know what real great science is, and it even says in all the scriptures and everything, it's all based on a question. It's all based on a question. Even though certain things are fact, they're always questionable. And that's what makes amazing science. You need to question every bit of science because that's what makes amazing science. And that's what science teaches us. So, I don't want to always be logical. I don't. Deep down, I'm not being myself if I'm always being logical about everything. And I found it very difficult to feel into these gifts, to accept myself for having these gifts as well, because I was not born into a family who was generations of healers or anything like that. I never had any of the what people say about psychic attacks as a kid. I never had any of that. You know, a lot of it was thrust upon me in 2017, roughly. But yet, looking back at my childhood, I can identify where signs of spirit and angels, which the signs that they send me now when they're around me, I can actually know those signs from back in my childhood, but I just didn't know what they were at the time. So I felt changes in 2017. I started to see things, notice things, started to see things in my mind's eye. I've always seen things out the corner of my eyes. So I've always known that something's been around, but I've always been very, very, very anxious, very scared. I grew up in a Catholic family, so you know, spirit and stuff like that is very evil. And so I grew up very scared of seeing and knowing things. So when this happened to me, I was very like kind of, oh my God, like someone's coming to attack me or something like that. I was very, very scared because I do hear things and I always heard things. And when I was thinking back, even when I was taking drugs that time of my life, you know, I would hear things even more. And I used to like kind of put it down. Oh my God, it's like the drugs and stuff. No, I was opening up my awareness and I was actually hearing stuff. But what I realized was from 2017 is that that's what made my coaching really powerful, is that I was listening to questions I was being asked to ask my clients. So I'd be with a client and I'd hear this, ask them about such and such, ask them about their grandma and this meal, this exact meal, you know, and there'll be like some really clear, and I'll be like, oh, you know, just trying to style it out a little bit. Oh, did your grandma ever cook you da 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 da? And they were like, oh my gosh, yes. How do you know? But that's because I was hearing and I was listening to stuff and I was actually repeating it back. And over time, my body became very allergic to certain foods. Hence, that's why, you know, I don't have gluten in my diet or like quite a lot of things. My body started to clear itself out. My body started to recognize that it didn't need alcohol or any of those things, drugs or anything like that anymore. And that was because I needed to connect more and to hear more. The more I gave up certain foods because my mind was always concentrating on why my body was aching, the more I was able to hear what spirit was saying, able to hear what angels were saying. So I was able to even listen to my gut even more as well. So listen to my gut, not just my guides, but also listen to really tune into my gut feeling. Over time, I started to experience hand healing. So I noticed that I could actually put my hands on people and actually track what's in people's bodies. Now, I'm going to put a disclaimer on this because obviously my own safety and for the purpose of social media as well. Always go and see a doctor if you've got any issues with your body or anything like that. Right. But with the hand healing, you know, I always, you know, I could just sense stuff in people. And it wouldn't be in my body because I actually started to learn to cut off my own energy and actually just focus and concentrate on someone else's. That's a very easy thing to do, by the way. It's harder to actually tune into your own body. And I do, and this is what I teach you to do, is to tune into your own body. It's very easy to tune into someone else's body, but I always teach you to tune into your own, because when you're tuning into someone else's, it's very much to do with hyper awareness and hypervigilance. So I had to learn to cut off my own energy and only feel into someone else's when I work with them. I don't do it outside of when I'm working with someone. Sorry, you have to pay me for that type of stuff. But that's why I learned to do laser targeted healing. So I could actually put my hands on people and feel stuff out within them without listening. But then I realized both of them really fit together. So I actually channel spirit and angels as I'm actually doing hand healing with someone. So actually I lay my hands on their body, feel energetically what's going on, and really start tracking around their body. And it's incredible. It's incredible. That's why I wanted to do this video today, because I wanted to share with you that you didn't have to come from a family of healers to do something like this. I did find out that my granddad did read playing cards, by the way, which I didn't know. And over the time, you know, I've had kind of like angels come to me. So I was gifted some books, but I knew I needed to channel angels. And over time, I've learned energy around people's bodies and like really work where the energy needs to be and where it doesn't need to be. So I can really feel into that. And it's helped remove pain from people, attached to their growth, attached to their next level, attached to their next showing up more in the world. I have helped them do that as a facilitator. I've helped them tune into their own intuition and reconnect with themselves also, just by hand healing, channeling, and all the things that I do. You know, I'm talking about this right now. And you know, like just even talking about this right now is quite hard, but I know I can switch off, go back to my tools and like literally clear my energy of it. I know there's many of you out there right now who are maybe just getting to grips with like your healing capabilities. Not just that though, you really need to start tuning into yourself. There are many healers out there who are able to tune into so many other people that their bodies are not handling it very well. And that's because you have to look after this vessel. Channeling uses a lot of energy. It takes a lot of energy, but when you are channeling, you gain a lot of energy, right? So we're led into almost like this trap of, oh my God, I'm channeling, I have all this energy and it's so amazing. But then when you come out of it, you're very tired, very weak, and our eating habits change, our eating patterns change as well. And you have to look after that. And I've had to learn to look after that as well. So the way I got into channeling was that I was listening to voices. Listening to voices and seeing things in my mind's eye, seeing what people look like in my mind's eye. And it is incredible. It is incredible. I do feel incredibly blessed and humbled, you know, to have actually found these gifts now. Because I know that there are so many people out there, children included, that feel like they're really odd, feel like they're crazy, feel like they've got some like real awful issues going on with them. And sometimes they're not treated in the way and the dignity that they need to be treated with. And this probably leads to a lot of suicide. And I know I have felt suicidal at some times, thinking that I don't fit in with these gifts that I have. But these gifts have done so much for my clients and the people around me, and they've literally transformed my relationship with my own children. It's enabled me to look at my own children and actually go, wow, they have gifts too. So I didn't need to like kind of, you know, force upon them anything that I do. And this is what I don't do as well. I don't force upon what I do, because it's not a religion. It's just a part of just being human. But I want to share with this video, and I'm going to share more of these videos, because I do feel like the mental health of our children and adults is very important, and it's very vital right now. Yes, some people are going to have things like schizophrenia and all that kind of stuff, but there are also people who do listen, who do hear, who do see, who are absolutely gifted more than what you'll ever think and you'll ever believe. And they need right now, they need nurturing. They need nurturing, they need loving, and they need some serious support. They do. They're not odd. they're not crazy, and they're not they're not, what's the word I'm looking for? Evil. They're not evil either. So I hope you enjoyed this video today. I will be talking more about this because I do feel it's really, really vital in this day and age that we start to know who we are as humans, that we discover that this is not new. It isn't. You know, if you look back in history, you can see it with witches. If you look back in history, you can see it with the medicine women at the turn of the century. If you look really back in history to the Egyptian times, you can see it around about then as well, that we have extra senses and we can tune into people, to the environment, and to that of around us. So I really do want to share more of that, and that it's just part of being human for a lot of people. So I'm going to leave it there for today. Have the most amazing day. You know what programs I do and things like that. And if you ever need help in terms of spiritual coaching, or if you are the one, then do reach out. So I'll see you soon. Speak soon.